Hey everyone, this is Tracy with Color Me This. We're on episode 454, jumping back into coloring Fred. I've got more coral to finish out, but I think I'm over halfway done with the coral. We may be able to finish it in this sitting. I'll tell you, I had to do the third fish in the acrylic markers, and I really wanted to color Fred. In the end, then, I had issues with tech. And had to break out the third old laptop. So right now on my desk I have 3 laptops, and the processing software, one of the parts of it works and the other part doesn't. So it's just crazy. And it took me quite a long time, over a couple of days, to figure out a process that will work. So I'm sort of back in business, and I'm really glad to get back to Fred. And because I was working on the yellows last, I am going to continue just to keep forward momentum here. I did enjoy playing with the acrylic markers, but they are definitely a learning curve, and my testing of them isn't in the technique I want to perfect. So I was just getting them out and using them, that is going to be a different time, because right now I am all about Fred. I've grabbed from set 559. It's a light yellow, and I am just going to start the doodling process here. I also did grab blues today. I am looking for a white piece of paper to make sure this is the correct lightest yellow. I suspect it is very lemony, so I am suspicious that it is this one that I want. I do find that these, when you write over the top of, I do want this one. When you write over the top of these pencils, you have to make sure you get your ink flowing. So I hope everybody is having a great week thus far. We have Hurricane Erin barreling down onto the East Coast. It is supposedly going to miss us, but hit maybe North Carolina along the coast. I wish them all well. I feel really bad for North Carolina. When I was there in March, I got to drive through Asheville, where the river took out a whole bunch of buildings and businesses and stuff, and they're still very much down and out there. So I feel bad for North Carolinians. I think that was Hurricane Helen. This is a little bit different color than the bright light yellow. This is a little creamier, and I don't mind this because this is like a brain formation coral, totally different than the antler style. I'm getting an extra little bonus coloring time in. We just finished class today, coloring class. Finally getting close to finishing a bigger coloring project, the biggest one I've done with the group, so that's kind of fun. I can't wait to share that with you guys. And I also am getting input. We are deciding as a group what we want to do, picking colors and everything. So that was really fun. I've already started to think about coloring Fred in colored pencil. And I want to do him in more of a kind of a softer, more realistic palette. I want the coral to be the thing that pops on the page. I am going to try to shift my I learned some things while working on those fish about the tolerances of my camera on this, the focus, and at what point my knuckle interrupts the focus. So I'm going to be working on perfecting my angles here. I see there are some fun stray colors. A little teal, a little pink, another bit of teal. I have some antler work to do on this. So there. Actually, I guess it looks like a bloomin' onion from the Outback, if you guys are familiar with the Outback restaurant. This little bit here by the is that a Moorish idol? I can't remember what kind of fish that is. I think that's what they're called. Where is it? Right there. I can tell I'm focused. It's an overcast day, much cooler than it has been. At least it feels that way. And there's a breeze, which is nice. It has been so warm here. And when we have rains, they are just gushers. Okay, so we have some very detailed little spindly little bits here. All right, moving up. Now I have to rotate this way, you guys, for my hand to not be in the way. Let's shift. Camera is not straight. I am so liking all of these colors, and I'm happy with the fact that the color purity. I'm totally happy with some greens and purples in with the oranges and the yellows, and oranges and yellows in with the purples and the blues. This is underwater after all, so there's a lot of reflective lighting going on. Now I have to make sure that I don't cover a fish in error. So these Languos, I have to report there are 5 more sets of the fine point marker color sets. Let's see some of the names. Do I remember any of the names? I'm hoping to get them, but I just was really tired when I noticed them last night. I was working on a different project, happened to notice them on Temu and went, I have to work on this in the morning. I am too tired. See, that's a fish right there. So there's like a dusty blue set, a light set, a darks set, and 2 others. A total of 5. They're all 9 packs. They're priced very well. If they're not already sold out by the time I actually get in there. You do have a minimum order to place, and I didn't have anything else ready, so I'm gonna have to sit and figure out some reasonable things to get. It's not a bad minimum. It's, I think, $30. Maybe it's even 20 or 30. Okay, so we're doing great with the yellow. I do see an area. Let's see. You might have missed if I forgot to move. I had this part I did. I just did this little area, but let's go ahead up here. The tippy top, we will get that. And while I'm thinking about it, thank you for joining me today. And welcome back if you are returning. I tend to do this at the very end, and I'd like to be thanking you for watching earlier in my videos. All of your likes and watches makes such a huge difference to my channel. Trust me when I say all of your activity on the channel is much appreciated. Okay, so I see a spot down here that I missed. These lovely big antlers need to be no lined. That's what I'm doing here. I am covering all of the black lines. I may strategically leave some black lining in where I want it to act as a shadow. Okay, putting the yellow down, there is a very pale green. "560" is the set that it is from, 560. And I see, if I start at the top and work my way down, might be a good strategy. There is a nice, this one's done. work on these very spindly. These remind me of Dr. Seuss for some reason. These are longer tendrils down here. Nice. Okay. Greens are almost done. Look at that. Okay, there is this cactus looking creation. Let's see if I can do some justice to this one. You are hearing my pork carnitas telling me they're done. See how this right here is bleeding the purple? That is, I kind of really like it. I would have to switch to a different gel pen if there was any area that I wanted to not bleed like that. Okay, I've got two areas. Look at that right there. These beautiful tendrily. There's a little bit of purple in there, a little bit of like light sage green. I see some teal. All right, I'm going to pause so I can go. I hear hub outside. I am going to go process my pork. We're about 26 minutes in, so I'm going to come back and probably be able to finish this. Get all the corals done. I actually like that bleed through. Hub did not come in. And I'm looking, I have a couple of teal areas left. And a little bit of dark blue, which I did pull some dark blues. So I'm going to tilt. If I could at least finish this one last one, I'll be done with the light green. All right, I'm going to pull out now so you can see how we're looking. All right, we're looking really good. So I will be back in a flash. I've got some teal here, here, and here, and up here. Oh, that might be the end of the coral, and then we can move on to the rest of the image. All right, I am back, and it looks like I actually used the same green, the lightest green on my mock-up. So I'm going to be going in here and adding some lighter highlights. On the teal, a couple of the teal places that were done. I'm not really being very exact. I'm just adding little spots of color here and there. And there's lots of pinks and a variety of colors. I did a lot of kind of commingling them, hoping for a nice underwatery look. All right, so moving up, you can see up here where I added quite a bit of the green before. Now we're going to come over. I am going to switch. I don't want everything, just like the changes in the yellows. I should probably tell you, that was still the same color that I had used for the green from set 560. And this is from set 558, I believe. So we're going to play with this area. Just almost done. That's a little fluffiness going on here. Oh yeah, that's nice. I like that. All right, so now we have this area that I would like to have some of this blue. I'm actually running the marker or gel pen across the top, letting this dark shelf line be there as a shadow. I have one, oh, I see. Up here, let's see if I can keep my knuckle out of the way. Oh yeah, that looks good. Okay, almost there. There is a very light purple posy color in set 557, and I am going to be putting that on the tops here. When we were doing the blue and purple, I didn't quite make it this far. This is, I think, the last. Sea pen looking creature. There we go. I'm gonna, oh, I see one more area. Okay, moving over. Again, all these are on the top, farthest away from me. And get to this purple. Let's put a little highlight. Get rid of that black line. Ignore our jellyfish. I'm going to zoom out again all the way. I think I'm going to call it I think that that looks just fine. I see enough black in there for some shadows, a little detail here and there. We're going to work on Fred next. He is going to be somewhat neutral greens. There he is. I've got all of the floor corals to work on. They will be the same color tones as the top. I have to decide if I'm going to just do them more muted, maybe darker tones, and only in pencil, and not do the no line highlighting on them. Whatever I do want to make sure that we draw attention at the end to the top of his turtle back. That is the goal. So I will start with just doing pencil. We will do it all live together, and we'll see what we can do. Very, very fun. Thank you all for joining me today. I already said it, see, and then at the end I always say, do all the YouTube things, like, share, comment, consider subscribing, and I will see you all on the next one, where we will start in on Fred. Everyone take care.